Logistics is undoubtedly going to be a major market in the future for Turkey. But as we were talking and we were touching this on before, infrastructure probably was not there to accompany this. You have to bear in mind the infrastructure in Turkey is based around roads, of course, a major connection from south to north, connecting Bulgaria down to Iran and all the other countries. But also you have major ports, which are very active, in which all the logistic activities is taking part. We are basically on a weekly basis giving information around the different ports, the different infrastructures, because a lot of international logistic players are looking to expand. The market until now is not very speculative. A lot of the logistics, unless some of the international players which were a bit more adventurous, but the local market was dominated by turnkey projects in which they would find first the tenant and then after they would develop. But this is not accompanying the speed in which investors want to come and tenants are looking for. So that's sort of hindering the capacity to grow quicker. But again, with the third bridge, for example, in Istanbul, there's 2 bridges. There's a third bridge which is going to be constructed, and we think that's going to be a great help for logistics.
It would be right to say, perhaps it's not a legal issue, but due to the property prices, the yields are so low. So you always face that problem. So even if you build a 4th bridge or a bridge over Dardanelles, that area will become expensive in land prices, and therefore that area will also become unsuitable very quick for logistics. So you have to spot probably some places before something happens, and pay a little bit extra and try your luck maybe in case they change their plans and don't build a bridge there. But other than that, it's very expensive.
Just to draw on Istanbul, because of the geographical complexity and of the city, land prices is extremely expensive. Extremely expensive. So very complicated for logistic operators to find suitable land and being competitive on rental prices. So that's why a lot of the projects are not coming out also, because of geographical complexity of the city.
I can give you this example. The oldest golf club of Istanbul, a member of which is also here among us, is looking for a space and cannot find it because it's so expensive. And they have to go 100 kilometers out in order to actually have something to be leased for long term. So even for a sport, you can't really find it. So it's really tricky to find a good space.
And another thing, the weight of the west part of the country, including Istanbul, Ankara, is very big into the economy and into the activity. But now there's a lot of incentives being put in place by the government to try and push the activity to go east. And there's a lot of tax incentives, and there are large cities around this area which can host all this activity. So there are a certain number of measures to try and push all this activity to go a little bit east of the country.
And that's also changing on the ground. I mean, if you look at the road infrastructure in Turkey, traditionally there was the corridor basically from Edirne through Istanbul, Ankara to, let's say, the Syrian border. Yeah. But the road system in Turkey has been overhauled, I would say, substantially in the last 15 years, with basically building 4-lane roads throughout the country from west to east, from north to south. Also with, let's say, opening the borders. Turkey from basically the end of Europe is becoming a crossroads, trade routes to the Caucasus countries, Georgia, but also to the east with Iran. I mean, economic relations, of course, neighboring country is there. Iraq, oil imports. So, and within the market, we see, of course, mid-sized companies, but also retailers making national networks out of their, let's say, traditional Istanbul hubs. So within Central Anatolia, also because of the size of the country, the centrality of the road system, cities like Konya, Kayseri, Ankara, those are typically the places that I would expect, logistics centers covering major regions or even the whole country will be established there.
It can be seasonal. It can be seasonal, but currently Iraq is the 2nd largest trade partner of Turkey after Germany. So logistics to Iraq plays an important role. But who knows what will happen in 5 years in Iraq? That's something else. But currently, so there is a market over there.